Hey folks, it's Lindsey Huddleston with Sports Psychology Solutions back in the building, getting ready for the SPS Game of the Week. We are in Viking territory, as you can see behind me here at Jackson High School. I want to thank Coach Milton Barnes for allowing me to come in and get ready for the SPS Game of the Week, which will be Friday, February 14th, Valentine's Day, right? You ready for that?
Yeah.
Good, it'll be against Tecumseh. And this is also a kickoff for a great event that's going to be taking place on March 5th at the state capitol in Lansing, the Michigan Mental Health Capital Day, and you'll get more information about that. SPS is partnering with the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. But here I am, Lindsey Huddleston, sports psychology consultant, focused on mental toughness, but also mental health. And I have Mr. Daivion Boleware here in the building. How you doing, man?
Good, you?
Great. When I talked to Coach Barnes about coming down, not only talking to him, but talking to some of the players, he was the first person who he thought that I should speak with regarding talking to you. Why do you think Coach Barnes would want you to be the one to come over here and start representing the Vikings?
Because I'm supposed to lead them here. I want to lead them far.
You want to lead them far. Mm-hmm. What is it like, Bone, to lead your peers? What is that like doing that, especially in 2020?
I mean, it's tough. There's so many challenges and humps to get over it, but you just got to use your teammates and stuff to help you get through it.
Right. I was watching you in practice today, watching the coach. Coach does a lot of teaching, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's difficult for players to have the attention span to be able to go through a 2-hour, teaching practice?
It's somewhat, because it's just distractions in the gym you got to learn how to ignore.
Yeah, well, speaking of distractions, that's a great segue, like you were reading my notes. My work as a sports psychology consultant help young people work on their mental toughness, but one of the things we have to take on is also dealing with mental health. There's a campaign we're involved with called Seize the Awkward, and you'll see that on the screen as you're looking. There's a huge hashtag campaign, and whether you know it or not, Jackson High School is going to be part of the challenge. What we want to do is get as many young people as possible to go on their social media accounts, Twitter, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and things like that, and hashtag Seize the Awkward to be able to have these uncomfortable conversations with their peers about mental health, and that deals with anxiety, depression, and unfortunately, a lot of people looking at things like suicide. When you hear that topic, what does it make you think of when you think of your peers and what they may be going through and some of the challenges they may have?
I mean, when I think of suicide, I had a cousin that passed away. They hit back a couple years ago, committed suicide. But I think depression is a real thing, and you need to talk more to people so you can get out of that state.
Yeah. With you having this on social media, I know you and I talked before the camera started rolling. You're not a big social media guy, but do you think you can have an influence on your peers by having this discussion and being on social media and people seeing it and talking about it?
Yeah, I definitely think I can impact them.
Okay. What are some of the ways you think that you can?
I think, I want people to see me as, a guy that they can come talk to anytime, a nice guy, can help them through anything.
Is that easier said than done? How important is it to be available for your peers to talk to you, and then once they start talking, being able to engage them in a way that's helpful?
You just got to pay attention and act like you're in their shoes. You got to see where they're coming from.
Is that to be in a position of non-judgmental state of mind? Oh, that's great. Sitting here with Daivion Boleware. What year are you?
2020.
2020, getting ready to make that move. So how does it feel, this being your last season playing basketball right here, getting ready for a life after basketball at Jackson?
I'm loving it, but it just came by so quick.
So since you said that, and that's a really great thing to say, what would you say to your freshman self right now when you talk about if you can go back and talk to him and get him ready?
Take school more seriously, way more serious.
Because it goes fast. Before we wrap up, you're doing an excellent job, by the way. I want to talk about an article that came out in Science Daily. Well, my background is a sports psychology consultant. I look at ways of how to make athletes more mentally tough. But like we said, we're talking about mental health, and I'll just read a little bit. There's a great article that came out about a year ago on mental health issues increased significantly in young adults over the last decade. And they say the shift may be due in part to a rise in digital media. That's what the study suggests. So basically what it's saying is, young people are having higher incidence of things like, anxiety, depression, sleeplessness, and things like that. But people older than them, it's not increasing. So it's kind of concentrated in young people. I mean, I don't really want to sit and try to argue that. Let's look at it as a reality. But how hard is it to manage social media? And I know you're not a big social media guy, but if you can speak on your peers, how hard is it to manage your social media involvement so it doesn't have a negative impact on you?
I mean, it's hard not to keep social media out the way, but because it's so many connections, people want attention, and that's what they use social media for.
Wow. Now, with that attention, you struck on something, man. Good attention, bad attention, it doesn't matter.
They just want affection. They just want someone to look at them, no matter how they look at them.
Well, I mean, you really were mature in your comment. That sounds like a human trait that we want that. Why do you think kids that go to negative ends to get that attention?
I don't know for sure, but it's just like when you get something, you want everybody to look at you. If they start looking at someone else, it'll make you feel some type of way about that.
Wow. What are we gonna do about that, man? Do you think that's healthy to be that way?
No.
No. How do you manage? You really, when I was asking you about your social media profile, you don't really have and that's not a bad thing. You were just like, no, I don't really have. How did you not get pulled into that feeling you had it?
When I was in 6th grade, my brother passed away from a heart attack. So before he passed, he said he wanted me to focus on school and graduate and everything. So ever since then, I stayed off social media and just been focused on trying to go far in basketball.
Wow. So, man, what was your brother's name?
Shaquan Lindemann.
Not to compare, I lost my brother about 7 years ago to my older brother. Shout out to Sean Huddleston. But you were saying that almost traumatic thing in your life had an impact to help you. One more thing before we sign off. We're still in the wake of the tragedy of Kobe Bryant passing away, and I don't care who you are. If you touch a ball, you got to have some love for Kobe Bryant. What influence did Kobe Bryant have on you as a basketball player? What influence do you think he has on this generation of basketball players? And what did his passing mean to you?
I mean, when everybody wants to play basketball, they want to score. When they look at Kobe, they just look like he's the best scorer of all time. So no matter if you say basketball or if you like basketball, Kobe's automatically going to come to your mind because he's the best scorer. But I looked at him when he was in high school, and right when he graduated from high school, went to NBA. That's the most thing I love about Kobe. He always been my favorite player. But if I look at him, I just look like he's a great person in general. Like, he helps his community and everything.
Oh, that's great. Daivion Boleware, Bone, they call him. Man, you are really representing Jackson High School really well. You're representing the Jackson High School basketball program well. You're representing Coach Barnes well. You're representing your family well. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Anything you want to say to your, colleagues, friends, teammates before we sign off?
No, sir. Just keep your head up.
Keep your head up. That's it. Hey, man, best of luck to you. All right, we'll see you guys soon. And keep following SPS. You can also follow us at TheSPSEdge.org. And look out for our Mental Health Day on March 5th at the Capitol. If you need some more information, go to www.afs.org, and they'll help you with that. So with that, we'll sign off. We'll see you guys later. That's right, folks. Lindsey Huddleston with SPS back in the building on the southwest side. How do you hit a free throw? How do you finish strong? That's important. But the other part of the spectrum is
always packed, always loud, always crazy. So it's a tough place to play in. You gotta go in there with a mind.
So I'll be in there tomorrow. That's really my motivation. Is I want to be like Gabe Brown. Gabe Brown shoots like